So welcome to this class on Upadesha Saara. We'll start with the chanting first. I'll just share onto the screen and you can chant with me. I'll chant at my end. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Gananam Tva Ganapati Gam Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamashravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Ana Shrinvan Nutivi Siddh Sadhanam. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupiణि Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwarah Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So we'll chant the Mangalacharan, the first slok of the text also. I'll share that onto the screen. So this is the first sloka of the text, Upadesha Saara, which we will start today. So we'll just quickly chant this short sloka. All are very short slokas, but very, very deep. So, but we'll enter into the shloka later. Right now, we'll just chant. कर्तुराज्ञया प्राप्यते फलम् कर्म किं परम् कर्म तज्जडम् कर्तुराज्ञया प्राप्यते फलम् कर्म किं परम् कर्म तज्जडम्. When we used to study, then we would chant whatever shlokas had been covered from the beginning to that one. So that is how we used to do. But we shall see if we can do it together also when we continue this text. So now let's come back to the text, Upadesha Saara. So we are entering into this very, very beautiful short text of only 30 shlokas by Ramana Maharishi, but very, very deep. And what is special about this is because we have, maybe all of us, I think, have heard about the great Ramana Maharishi. So he was a great sadhaka. So in the normal Vedantic teaching, the first text is usually Tattva Bodha, right? And next, second one, the second level is supposed to be Upadesha Saara. Because in Upadesha Saara, the basics are all covered. It's a complete text about all the sadhanas that are necessary for the attainment of knowledge, starting from karma. So, karma se shuru hoke jnana tak. So that is how the test goes about. It is divided into basically four portions, where the first portion is about karma sadhana, and not just in presented as karma sadhana, but initially of our regular journey in the world as we keep doing karma as a means for fulfillment of desire. So shifting from that desire fulfillment to making that karma as a karma sadhana. So that is what is the first stage. Then the next stage, next is about upasana, japa, and so on. Then the third is the regular, our traditional learning system, yoga. So yoga, or you can say Raja Yoga. So that is the third stage. Preparing your mind with very, very steep and very, very sharp discipline. And finally, the knowledge portion, Gyan part. So that Gyan part comes as the culmination. So now if you look at, you would have heard a lot about Raman Maharishi. Those who are interested, maybe you would have read about him. He was a very famous personality of his times. He was not someone who was very, very outspoken or voluble. In fact, right from his birth in 1979, and then when he went on to, sorry, 1879, and then when he went on to he was not very interested in the worldly things. He would not be interested in doing the works of his home. So his family were very, very irritated with him. And his brother, he tried to teach him, but he didn't want to learn. He just wanted to meditate and focus on his inner thoughts. So that is why he was not thought fit for family life. And one day he told that the brother told that what is this use of this person when he is not even contributing anything to the family. And so Raman Maharishi also didn't take it in a negative way. He also thought, what is my use here? I am born to do sadhana. And so he left. And he left for Arunachalam, the holy mountain in Tamil Nadu. And there he stayed at its foothills for a long, long time. In fact, a very interesting story that when he left for the Arunachalam, he had one earring, a golden earring. He sold that. Usko बेच दिया. He sold that, and from the money he brought a ticket to Arunachalam because some guest had come to his house and he was telling him stories about Arunachalam, and he thought, yes, this is my goal. This is where I want to live. And so he went there, and there is a temple at the foothills. He went there and he started staying there. Whatever money was left over after the tickets, he made a very beautiful boat and he enjoyed letting it float away into the water. जो पानी है जो पैसा है खत्म. Nothing. He had no desire to accumulate anything. That was the high level of his sadhak. And because he was such a sadhak, he has not written too many texts, right? A lot of him we hear from our ex-president, our first president S. Radhakrishnan, who was very Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. He was a very, very good writer on spirituality. He wrote commentaries on the Gita, the Upanishads, and he wrote a lot about Raman Maharishi also because he was his favorite person to go to. So, in the first 11 years of Ramana Maharishi's stay there, he in fact was into Maun Sadhana. He didn't say anything. It was only after that when some people would start going to him and they asked to write something, to explain some text, that he spoke, and some of those teachings then converted into the text that we have. So two of the famous ones that we have is one is Sadhadarshan and the second one is Upadesha Saara, this one that we have, right? So if anyone doesn't have the text and wants, you can maybe get it online, or I can share it in the group because this was the first class. I didn't share it. We will be sharing it on the screen also. But if you want, I'll share it on there. Otherwise, you can buy it online, whichever way you prefer. So this text now, Sadadarshan and Upadesar are the two main texts. Sadadarshan in itself is only about the highest sadhana, only about Gyan. But this one is considered more complete. That is why it is studied along with Tattva. It contains all the upasanas, right? So when we go into this text, then if you understand a bit more of this background, so Ramana Maharishi, he was very, very well known after some time. He was known as a very deep sadhaka. He was the one who started the main focus of the process by which we enter into spirituality. We're using the term who am I? So that is what he used for many, many occasions. So it was later also picked up by Nisargadatta Maharaj, who wrote this book, Who Am I, which is very, very popular. And so Ramana Maharishi, what he did first was, in his first journey, he started he visualized himself as without his body. He pretended, or some people say that he died actually. Right? He actually left his body by the power of his will, and then he could feel that even with the body gone, he still existed. So that means he understood that I am not the body. So what we learn normally in our Vedantic teaching, that is something he experienced internally. So let us be realistic. Let us imagine that he was able to somehow visualize it by focusing inwards. Huh? Let us not say he really died. So in that way, he just entered into a deep state of meditation, and he was able to see that I am not the body. And then then he saw about his chant inward. So he thought, no, I am not the sense organs or my karma indriya also. The Vani also I am not, because I am hearing it. Who's hearing? I am hearing that Vani. And then he went deeper, and then he thought, what are the things running in my head? They are my thoughts. And then he could see that I am also seeing my thoughts. So I am not the thought also. So that is how he reached that state, that I am that pure consciousness, right? So that is how he reached that state. So when slowly over a period of time with this sadhana that he learned, he taught other people also. So there is another story next. How about this text came over? ये कहाँ से आया? So this text is actually inspired by the Shiva Purana. So in the Shiva Purana, there is a story, and this story was being translated by one very famous Tamil saint, Murugana. So he was the one who was he is a very well-known writer there, and he tried to translate a lot of the texts into modern languages, into modern form, or into modern stories, right? So he was translating a particular story. So we'll just look at the story first, and then we'll look at how it inspired the text. So in this story, what was happening? There were a group of you can say rishis, or they were grihastha, of course. They were not sannyasis. They were grihasthas, and they were very, very proficient in karma kanda, in doing the rituals that give you whatever results you want to achieve. And they believed at that time, that is a very commonly held view also, that these people, they are called karma kandis or karma mimansakas. So the Mimamsa Shastra is said to say that everything can be attained by karma. In fact, some say that karma kanda is teaching them that karma itself has the capacity to give you the fruits. कर्म अपने आप ही कर्म फल दे देता है. Although it's not strictly true when you actually read the text, but let us understand it in that context. उसी तरह से हम समझ लेते हैं. So when we look at this karma sadhana, then in that they understood that कर्म itself, any action has a definite result. जैसा कर्म करोगे वैसा फल आएगा ही. So they felt that it was in that karma phalam existed in the form of what they called adrishtam, as an invisible fruit that is present in the unmanifest state. When it ripens, it automatically gives you your karma phalam. But there is a serious flaw. Without any kind of conscious entity, how can karma phalam come? So that we'll see in the text. So I'll not reveal that for now. So these karma mimansakas, these rishis, were doing karma sadhanas in the forest, and they did a yagya, through which they were able to attain a lot of siddhis. Lot of sadhanas, siddhis they were able to attain to. So now when they were doing these sadhanas, these rishis, they along with their wives were doing the preparations. Then Lord Shiva saw their preparations, and he felt that these are very, very wonderful devotees, wonderful people who are knowledgeable. So they need to be pushed towards the highest knowledge. So I must go and teach them. So even though right now they think that only everything can be attained through karma. कर्म से ही सब कुछ मिल जाए. Even they think that moksha also can be attained through karma, liberation also. So that is their thought process. So when that thought process is held on to, there is a limitation of karma, which we will see later. So that limitation has to be transcended. So Shivji went to his best friend. Who is Shivji's best friend? Vishnu ji. ठीक है. Even though the devotees fight among themselves, devotees don't know the actual story, actual situation. Yeah, because we have heard about Shaivas fighting with Vaishnavas, which is very, very stupid. but actually they are, even the text say that Shivasya Hridayam Vishnu and Vishnu's Hridayam Shiva. So both reside in each other hearts, right? So they are not separate actually. They are one and the same Lord, taking up different functions and names. And so in those they also collaborate. So Shivji said, let us collaborate today. I want you to help me. So I want to teach a lesson to these rishis. So let us go down, and we will see that how we can maybe influence them. So he said, you take your Mohini roop, Mohini avatar, and I will take the form of a because Shivji is very, very handsome. So because of that, he took form of a very handsome brahmachari, and then they both went to the ashram where these rishis were conducting their yajna. So this ashram, when they visited, uh, Vishnuji, he as Mohini, he went to the rishis and he enchanted them, and they went running after him. And then the Shivji, he went to the ladies, and he came to give some teaching, and the ladies got enchanted, and they also went off. And so now the rishis, they were, after some time they realized, what are we doing? ये हम क्या कर रहे हैं? How are we running after women and losing our sight of our target? They were supposed to do a yajna. So yajna has to be the priority. So because of that, they thought that maybe I have to, maybe we should control ourselves. Let us go back. And then when they reached back, they found their wives are also missing. So they were very, very surprised. So then they went searching, and then they found them trailing behind this handsome brahmachari. So now the wives were very, very, you can say, Hindi में जो कहते हैं मंत्र मुग्ध, they were listening to this brahmacharya, and so these rishis, they went and they shook them. What are you doing? So then they were very angry with Shiva. They didn't know he was Shivji, of course. So they said, we will burn you. So they created a big ball of fire, and they sent it to Shiva's hand. And Shivji stopped with his hand. And then they created a lion with their, because they have this power of karma kand, because through different rituals, you can create a lot of different things. So though they are there in all our shastras, are they available, where you can do this, tantra, mantra, all these. So they created this lion, and they sent it to attack Shivji. And Shivji again stopped him also, obviously, because for him, what is a small animal? Because the animal is Shiva only. So if you remember Vedant from Atma Bodha, Swatmani Kriya Abhavat. I cannot act upon my own finger. So if the tiger is also Shiva, how can he attack Shiva? Right? So therefore, Swatmani Kriya Abhavat, nothing can harm Shiva. So when the rishi saw, then they understood that something different is happening, right? So they decided, they immediately prostrated in front of the brahmachari, and they said, we understand that you are some divine being, some deva or some devta. So whatever your form, please reveal and tell us your true motive. So Shivji revealed himself, and then he said, look, I understand that you are very, very proficient in karma, but karma is not the final solution. So the final knowledge is the final goal. Through knowledge only, through jnanam only can you reach there. वहीं से आप पहुंच सकते हो. So therefore he gave a upadesha on jnanam. That upadesh is not there in the Purana. Right? So Murugan was because it's given in short. So let me give you the knowledge of the highest, the Parama, who is beyond name and form, beyond all. So that is how he described it in the short about the highest knowledge. So that much. So this Sar came later. So now Murugan went to Ramana Maharishi. He said, this story has ended here, but I have nothing to say about what actually happened, what was the actual teaching. So then Ramana Maharishi said, okay, then let's write it down. I will tell you. And he started writing it down. So Ramana Maharishi started dictating the text. It was in Tamil at that time. So it was not this Karturagya. So that text was dictated by Ramana Maharishi, and he dictated this to the devotee Murugan, who wrote it down. And so these 30 verses were written by him. Then later on, this was translated also to Malayalam. And then there was a very famous sadhaka also, name of Ganeshana. So he was also very a deep devotee of Ramana Maharishi. So he said, I would like to translate this into Sanskrit. So this is Sanskrit verses came from him. So that is how the Sanskrit verses have come down to us. So in this text, all of the different aspects of the sadhana are given here, right? So therefore, the initial sadhana, the karma sadhana also is also given here, because even though in normal parlance, normal words, if we can say, as एक normal भाषा में हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, we call these secondary sadhana नहीं है, गौण sadhana, karma adi, but they are very important also. That does not mean they are not important. So they are very important, but why do we call them secondary? Because without knowledge, without jnanam, moksha is not possible. So therefore that is primary, because without that it cannot happen. But it's not that without karma, because unless we go through the proper karma sadhana, we will not be able to hold on to the jnanam. So jnanam will slip. It will run out of our fingers. We will attain it and it will still not be very useful. So that is why we have to understand right from the beginning. And Ramana Maharishi was very graceful. So he gave us this text so that for those of us who are not able to, no, because once you don't understand something, what happens is you give it up. छोड़ देते हो, ये तो कोई काम का ही नहीं. As you listen to something about knowledge, jnanam, what kind of thing is that? Leave the whole world, don't do any action. They don't understand that you're not asking you not to do any action. So therefore, the teaching has to be very clear, and it has to give you the right kind of motives, the right kind of, you can say, method by which you can enter, right? So therefore, this teaching has to take into account the proper sequential process. Unless this is followed, this is not going to be useful for us in the long. So we'll enter into the text now. Just go to the so karturagya prapyate phalam karma kim param karma tajjadam. So kartuhu is the ultimate doer or the giver of karma phalam. So this is not the doer as in the sense of I, the individual doer. That is the one who gives the karma phalam. Who is that? Ishvara. So kartur agyaya, from the permission or from the ability of the Lord only can we get our fruits of our actions. Prapyate phalam. So whatever actions that we have done, that actions we can get the fruits only from the agya of Ishvara. So therefore, karma kim param. So karma therefore cannot be param. It cannot be the highest. Why? Karma tat jada. Karma is jada. Karma is not sentient. So therefore, it is not possible for us to do our karma and get the karma phalam according to whatever our desire is. So now, if we understand this rightly, what is the normal process for all of us? Normal process is we see cause and effect relationship between whatever we do in life, right? So in that cause and effect relationship, what do we see? मैंने कुछ काम किया, उसका एक फल मिला. That is something we see regularly, right? But do we always get karma phalam? Do we always get what we tried to do? It is not always possible, right? Sometimes we get, sometimes we don't get. Sometimes we get more, sometimes we get less, right? So in both of these cases, what is happening is that whatever action that we do, that action it is going to create a limiting condition for us. हमारे लिए हमें रोक देता है एक सीमा तक. And so what is that limiting condition? First is, if I get what I need, if I get, then I'm very happy. And if I don't, then I'm very disturbed. Then I will try to do that action again. So therefore, I will have to keep doing that action till I finally get the phalam. So sometimes we don't even get the phalam in this janma. So that is why he says karturagya prapyate phalam. There is someone higher who is able to give the karma phalam for all of our actions and according to the time, place, and time, place, and whatever conditions that were required for doing the getting the karma phalam. So that has to be there has to be a higher God. That is why karma cannot give the fruit on its own. So just like karma, Mimamsaka will say that phala can come on its own. The logic says it cannot happen. So कोई एक स्वतंत्र कर्म फलदाता होना पड़ेगा. There has to be an independent कर्म फलम दाता, and that can only be Ishvara. Why Ishvara? Why Ishvara? Because he exists as the antaryami within all our hearts. He is that consciousness that pervades all of our hearts. That is the definition of Ishvara. And he is the holder of the universe. सारी सृष्टि के कर्ता, सारी सृष्टि को चलाने वाले ईश्वर है. So he is the one who runs the whole of creation, right? So therefore, Ishvara is the one who is the only one who is capable of giving us the karma phalam, right? So this karma phalam can therefore be given only by the highest Lord, Ishvara, right? So now when we look at karma, then there is the second part of it. Karma has limitations, right? Karma की बहुत सारी सीमितताएं होती हैं. So what are those limitations of karma if we understand? So if we remember from Tattva Bodha, so karma has 5 fields of action, 5 fields of where it can function, 5 fields of function. So they are apya, prapya, samskarya, vikarya, or vinashya, right? So what is apya? When I make a sankalpa or a decision to attain something, कुछ मैंने प्राप्त करने के लिए इच्छा करनी है, ठीक है. Second is prapya, when I actually go and attain that object, right? So that is another field of karma. Then the next one is samskarya. Samskarya is when I attain that object. Let us say like I attain a beautiful doll, and then I can modify it, sanskarya. I can purify it. I can paint it with different colors. I can decorate it. I can put a rubber band around its ponytail and so on. So therefore, I can do any kind of modification, any kind of changes to it. Then vikarya, slowly it will decay or it will go into depredation or depreciation. So therefore, over time, it will go towards decay, right? And then finally, vinashya. So with karma, something can also be destroyed. So these are only the limited fields whereby karma can function. So then in this now we are therefore understanding that karma can function on what? Only on external objects. Right. So when we learn about, we will learn about Atma, then we will see that Atma is something that does not have any modifications. Right. So therefore, their karma is not within its field. So within the field of karma, Atma does not exist. Right. So Atma cannot be touched by karma because it is without modification. So karma will only exist in these fields. Secondly, what is the next condition? The next condition of karma is that whenever we do any karma, the karma phalam cannot be attained immediately. Why? Why? Because for the fruit, for any fruit to happen, it depends on a lot of factors. There are maybe 9, 10, some of them list, some people list even 15, 16 factors by which a karma can give a phala. So one of them is intensity. किस तीव्रता से आप कर्म को करते हो, with what kind of intensity you do. So if you do something with a very broken mind, with a very scattered will, then it will not, you will not reach their function. So if someone has to like win a tennis championship, Serena Williams wants to win Wimbledon. So she would have practiced so much day and night, and so she would have done a lot of practice. So that intensity has to be there. Otherwise, the karma phalam will take long time. So if our practice, our intensity is lacking, then the karma phalam will take a long time. Then second is duration. Yes, duration. हम कितनी देर के लिए कर्म करते हैं. So that because of that duration, whatever be the time period for which we are doing the karma, according to that duration, that karma phalam will also happen. Then the third is the time. The time, what time we are doing. Some things, there are some things that we do in the morning, there are some things that we do in the evening. So everything has its time, right? So according to that correct time, if you do something, then only it will happen. If I am going to do Surya Namaskar or Surya Sadhana, I have to do it when the Surya is there. I cannot do it when the sun has gone down. So all of my actions have to follow that time factor. The next one is place. So what place we are doing an action? Everything is not effective in the same place. There are some karmas that can be done in only a particular place. Even like when we do puja. So we can, some people say God is everywhere. So we can do puja anywhere. For that, it requires a very high level of mental purity. But when you go to a temple, there you have the collective vibrations of sadhanas of so many people. So that is why Lord is present everywhere, but there He is manifesting in a very, very special way. So there you can connect with Him more easily. So when we go to a temple, then only we actually connect to God in a more a deeper way or in a more attached way. So that is just about worship. But if you take anything about an action, so we have to do something at the right place, right? If I have to do some work related to my office, I will always do it better in my right place, in my office, because just like today also many people they work from home. So they would have noticed that when they are working from home, then their parents will come in between. They will distract them. Would you like to have some food? It's time to go and have a bath. So they are not able to focus, right? So the place for work is the work office. But if you do it somewhere else, your work quality will suffer, right? You might save on the time of commuting, aane jaane ka samay. You can save it, but ultimately you have to be in the right place for the action to be done properly. And then next is by whose blessings this work is being done. In Indian tradition, we always seek the blessings of our elders. And when they give blessings, you can observe that your work will happen better and faster. When you really go to them with a good heart, and you take their blessings with the lot of devotion, then it will help you in your action, right? So same goes with Lord or the Devas, whoever blessings you take, that will also make the efficiency of your karma better. Then the next one is procedure. आपको तरीका आना पड़ेगा ना कर्म करने का. You have to know how to do the action. If you do it wrongly, you will end up having to repeat the process again and again, right? So therefore, what I'm saying is keep following why I'm saying all of this, that karma, for it to be successful, for it to give the right phalam, it is very, very difficult to predict the time and place where you will get the karma phalam, right? All of these factors influence that. So the procedure is there. Then the doership. If you are very, very conscious of your karma, कि मैं कर रहा हूँ, then a lot of times it will give you disturbance. But if you are doing it without the sense of doership, you will be able to do it much, much better. Right? There is a musician. So when the musician focuses inwards, forgets to think anything about the song and forgets to even, memorize the lyrics, it is in that condition that the most beautiful music comes out. That is called the moment of inspiration. When you are internally, you are in Gandharva Loka, when you are connected to the divine musicians. Right? So that is the time when the music really flows. It flows through you. So therefore, that inspiration has to be guided by some uh, giving up the sense of doership. When I try to memorize too much myself, I end up forgetting also myself. So therefore, that has to be there. So that is there. Then in Anugraha also, as I said, blessings are there, but there is a Deva Anugraha also, the blessings of the divine being. So that blessing is also dependent upon what? Dependent upon how we also treat the universe around us. How also we treat the people around us, how we treat the nature around us. When we treat it well, then it also gives us back good conditions for us to do our karma, right? So therefore, we have in our tradition Nitya Naimittik karma, our duties, Nitya and Naimittik karma. So Nitya is the daily karma, Naimittik is those we do on a particular occasion. They can be monthly, daily, monthly, even daily also sometimes, but not necessarily daily when the condition comes. They can be weekly, they can be annual, they can be biannual. So all of those karmas that we do, not to gain some fruit, but to gain Deva Anugraha, to gain that Devta Anugraha. So for that we have to do our actions in the manner whereby they will create positive vibrations in the nature around us. So with those positive vibrations, I also get back a positive environment to do my actions. And then there is another very important factor that is called Kartavyata. So Kartavyata, because unless and until I have finished whatever is my duty, my Kartavya, I will not be able to do the other things that I want to do for my benefit. Because like, let's say I have to do a certain I have to do some kind of business transaction. I have to buy some shares or whatever kind of business I want to do. And to do that, I have to finish my home duties. I have to finish whatever I have to do at home before I can go there. Otherwise, in the day, always those works will keep coming up and they will disturb my work. Right. So therefore, kartavya has to be finished off. Right. So in this way, karturagya prapyate phalam says this shloka says that it is through only the permission of that highest being, the Ishvara, that we are able to get the fruits of our action. They do not come about automatically. And Ishvara also will give us the fruits according to the conditions that we have observed while doing the karma. So therefore, Ishvara will give us those fruits which are what we deserve. But we don't know what we deserve, when we deserve. He knows each and every factor about what kind of karma we have been doing, and therefore he will give us the fruits according to that, right? So we happen to get trapped in this cycle because we think that I am the doer. मैं ही करता हूँ, मैं ही भोगता हूँ. So because of that, I tend to get myself trapped into this cycle of karmic reactions and actions. And then when we do that action, then what is happening is initially what the karma will do, it will not bind me. शुरू में नहीं bind करेगा. But when we do something, then what will happen is that in doing that action, when I finally attain the fruit of that karma action, then it will form within me a samskara. Samskara means an impression on my mind. ऐसा मैंने किया तो ऐसा हो गया. That is formed. And then with that samskara will be attached my raga and dvesha. My likes and dislikes. Right? So now that is our vasana. So मेरा संस्कार अब क्या बन गया? Vasana. So now it has become vasana, means it has become a like or a dislike. So now next time, whenever that situation comes, I will not do the karma with independence. I will do it automatically. I will do it like someone, it is said that man becomes a pashu of the devatas when he takes up worship. हम सब जैसे, like we have a pet and the pet is controlled by us. Same way, we also become pets of the devatas. They control us. So that is how we let go of our independence by surrendering to our vasanas. So in this way, that karma phalam takes us to that cycle of vasanas. So it is a full cycle, actually, the eightfold cycle. Maybe some other text also we have discussed it, but not the topic for here now. But basically what happens is, once we enter into the cycle of action, then receiving that karma phalam, and then experiencing it, and then forming like or dislike for that, we get trapped into this cycle whereby karma itself becomes a source of joy or sorrow for us. And therefore this cycle goes on and on and on. So now what happens next is karma kim param karma tad jadam. How can this karma take us to the highest? Because this is jadam. It is going to take us towards jadata only. It is going to take us to attachment into non-sentient objects. उन्हीं चीजों में फंसा देगा हमको. So because of that, karma tat jadam, because of that, it will trap us into that feeling of dependence on those objects to give us joy. ये वस्तु ही मुझे खुशी देगी और कुछ मुझे नहीं देगा ना. दिस ऑब्जेक्ट ओनली कैन गिव मी हैप्पीनेस. दैट विल कीप ड्राइविंग our daily activities. So what will happen? What is now going to happen is that with that driving force behind me, I will only be doing activities according to that. So what happens is, next we plan for days, months, years also. That this is what I have to do. This is my target. I have to have 10 crore rupees by the time I retire. So every moment of my present, I stop living. मैं जीना ही छोड़ देता हूँ. I stop living. I stop enjoying. I enjoy with occasional bursts when I suddenly take some time off from work. So I cannot enjoy all the time. But what about the true bhakta? He enjoys every moment. That is the difference. So in this way, I get into this cycle of karma, and because these karmas that are earlier, they were not what we call causing any kind of bondage. बंधन का कोई कारण नहीं था. So they were not causing any bondage because of my sense of doership and because of my sense of expectation of any kind of phalam and expectation of how to attain that phalam. I get trapped into that cycle. So therefore, we need to think. We need to think. We need to do viveka. We need to do vichara. We need to think of how this karma cycle is going to keep us running in circles, running and running in circles. So therefore, this this karma sadhana that I have chosen, what kind of results it is going to give me? Do I need to keep running? So now remember, very, very important. What we will always observe is you cannot give up karma. कर्म छोड़ नहीं सकते आप. You have to keep doing karma if you have to survive any day of your life. So in Gita also, no, Bhagavan says two important shlokas. So one is very, very important one, very, very famous one you have heard about. Karmani eva adhikarahate karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. So your right is your hak, your right is in only doing karma. Karmani eva adhikara te. Karmanyeva adhikaraste. You do the sandhi and that is how it is chanted. So when you split it up, what it means is your duty is only to do the karmas. Ma phaleshu kadachana. The phalam I can give. So here the phalam is kartuhu. The karturagyaya. So that is, Bhagavan is saying, Ma phaleshu kadachana. So ma karma phal hetubuhu mate karmos vikarmani. So there Bhagavan says, don't go into akarma. Never go into akarma. Keep doing your duty, because whatever you are doing, the phalam you will get. जो आपने सोच के रखा है, जो आपने मेहनत करी है, उसके अनुसार मिलेगा. But don't think when you will get that. So that is one sutra. And then the second one is that in the Gita also Bhagavan says कि nahi kaschit chanam api karmani krit sthitam vapi. So for even the smallest of second or millisecond, human beings or the sentient beings of this universe cannot stay without doing any karma. एक क्षण के लिए भी आप बिना कर्म के नहीं रह सकते. So therefore you have to do karma. You have to do karma, you have to keep doing your karma, but you have to learn then the right way to do karma. That is how you will get out of this bondage. So therefore we have to think about how this karma is going to bind us, how this, because of this karma, we enter into what we call moha, delusion, because the mind takes control of us after that. If the mind is not at peace, I will keep on striving. Kya karu? We are always striving to give peace to our mind, and not realizing that the peace that we are seeking is eluding us. वो हमसे दूर भाग रही है. क्यों भाग रही है? Because we are caught up in the cycle of doership. So therefore it takes us into what we call vikshepa. I constantly think of one or other things to do to somehow calm my mind down. So therefore, we have to understand that we should not focus on the karma phalam. That is the uh, domain, or that is the area of the Lord. हमारा नहीं है. So therefore I have to go beyond that. So therefore that load that I'm carrying daily on my head, no, I have to let it go. वो बोझे को हमें छोड़ना पड़ेगा. So therefore, till that moha is there, till that kind of, you can say, worry is there in my mind, or there are doubts in my mind about how to go about this karma, then till then I will not be able to be at peace. I will never be able to even enjoy my life. Huh? So what are we here for? We are here to enjoy ourselves. Huh? So therefore, whatever we do, we have to do in the way that how we can do this, remove this kind of moha. So therefore, Maharishi ji is saying here, karturagya prapyate phalam. So therefore, leave all the doership to the Lord, or leave the giving of fruits to the Lord. In fact, the full doership, when you give up to the Lord, when you understand that everything in this universe, even कहते हैं ना, पत्ता भी नहीं हिलता है उनकी इच्छा के बिना. So therefore, nothing can move in this world without his will. So therefore, whatever action I am doing, that is through his grace and blessing. वही करवा रहे हैं. And then what is the next rule there? That whenever there is something that needs to be done, there will always come in our mind a sankalpa. This is how I have to do it. And that is the one we have to follow. But later on what we do, we think on too much on that sankalpa. कि भगवान ने हमें आज्ञा दी यहाँ से कि तुमने एक सुंदर सा काम करना, यू हैव टू डू दिस ब्यूटीफुल थिंग सो दैट यू विल मेक माई वर्ल्ड मोर ब्यूटीफुल. बट देन आई अटैच माई ओन राग द्वेषा टू दैट, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट आई एंड अप डूइंग द रिवर्स of what Lord was telling me. So sankalpa is given by the Lord to do something. With our raga and dvesha, we destroy it. हम नष्ट कर देते हैं. So therefore we have to be very, very careful. Always be alert to that first inspiration that comes within us, and that inspiration will always be in sync with the universe. पूरी सृष्टि के अनुसार ही वो चलेगी सारी की सारी. So therefore, whatever the initial agya from the Lord, that we have to hold on to. And therefore, that when I follow, always the efficiency of my actions will be more. I will be able to do actions in the right manner. And because that when I am doing it next with the understanding, what is the next part of that? Karturagya, that karma phalam will be given by Ishvara. So I will worry less about the fruit also. सो कर्म करते हुए भी मेरी शांति है, कर्म के फल आने तक भी मेरी शांति. बोथ वेज आई एम इन्वोकिंग पीस फॉर माई सेल्फ. सो देयरफॉर Maharishi ji here, Raman Maharishi says, karma kim param. It is not going to take you to the highest goal. So for now my highest goal is peace. अभी के लिए शांति है, मोक्ष बाद में आएगा. Let us worry about that later on. So therefore, something that is jadam, something that has no sentiency of his own, how can it give me peace? How can it give me peace? My peace is within me. So therefore I have to imagine, I have to understand that since it is not the highest, karma kim param, so therefore I have to understand it will also destroy with time. Whatever is the karma phalam, does anything remain with us permanently? So, हमेशा रहता है कुछ भी नहीं रहता. So therefore, if we want param, if we want sukham, the highest, you can say joy, or for now, as we are saying, our immediate goal of peace, then we have to give up dependence upon karma as giving me joy. So the first stage, doing karma with the sense of doership given up to the Lord, and finally the expectation of the karma phalam as something that he will give. So therefore this karma, that is what we say nashavan, what is going to get destroyed with time, I will not keep my expectations from that. So Maharishi Dayanandji used to say, no, when you sitting on a chair, you better sit on a wooden chair and not a cardboard chair. Would you want to sit on a cardboard chair? You will fall down. So therefore hold on to something that is solid. Hold on to something that will give you shashvat sukham. So therefore don't hold on to karma phalam. So therefore whatever we have received from the Lord, we will hold on to that. So today we started late. The time is a bit up for according to that. So can we continue for another 10 minutes? It's my mistake, of course, sorry that we started late. Do we continue for another 5 to 10 minutes? If all are agreed.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, then let's do I'll take 7 more minutes then. Then we'll wind up at 8:40, right? We started around 15 minutes late, in fact. Okay, so we'll enter the next shloka. So, second shloka. कृतिमहो दधौ पतनकारणम् फलमशाश्वतम् गतिनिरोधकम् कृतिमहो दधौ पतनकारणम् फलमशाश्वतम् गतिनिरोधकम्. So understand the nature of karma. What is the nature? Kriti Mahadadau is karma is like a Mahasagar. This Sansar Sagar. There is no end to the number of karmas and the number of karma phalam. And therefore, Patana Karanam. It is the cause of our downfall. हमें अधोगति की ओर लेके जाता है, पतन का कारण है हमारा. एंड बिकॉज वाई? बिकॉज फलम अशाश्वतम. सो फलम शाश्वतम because of the sandhi, the a has been elided, so you have to add that. So phalam ashashvatam. So because karma gives ashashvat phalam. What karma will, whatever phalam the karma will give, it will also go away with time, and so therefore it is gati nirodhakam. It decreases the speed of our spiritual progress. Decreases. So therefore I have to clearly understand that when I enter into karma, there is no end to the desires. The secret is to reduce my desires and increase whatever my duties that I can do to the maximum possible. So I receive a lot from nature. ये सृष्टि मुझे अनंत चीजें दे रही है. सो मेरा भी इसके प्रति अनंत एक ऋण है. आई हैव अ डेप्ट विच वी कॉल Prakriti Rinam. So that Rinam I have to pay back. So because of that I can keep doing lots and lots of action. But my action doesn't have to be for my own desire fulfillment. Otherwise what? We have this Mahasagaram. We have this huge ocean of Mahodadi. This Mahasagar of karma which has no limitation. And once because you fulfill one desire, I will keep a target of say like I need to earn 1 lakh. When I reach there, I will need to earn 10 lakhs. I frequently joke about the example of one of my uncles. So when we were like kids, he told us, you have to give us 1 lakh. When you start earning money, you have to give me, and that will be enough for the rest of my life. Now that 1 lakh has reached to 10 crores. So that is how, with time, our desires are even, whenever we start indulging too much, we increase the range of our even necessities. जिसको हम आज जरूरत कहते हैं ना, कल वो जरूरत और ज्यादा बढ़ जाती है. There is no end to the number of necessities we can increase. So of course there is some basic necessities we all need, but with time and with the gaining of wealth, we increase our necessities. So the secret in Adhyatmam is to use whatever excess wealth we have for the betterment of society, because we owe a lot of debt to it, and the rest we use for our own necessities of life, as in essential necessities, and whatever is the minimum requirements, or whatever is the requirement according to my station in life. So therefore, in this ocean of karma, whatever the number of phalams, the number of fruits that are available to me, they can trap me. I can sink into that ocean. So therefore, I have to take myself away from that doership. I have to accept that for everything, the karta or the doer is Ishvara, the dharta is Ishvara. So he is the one who is giving me the power to do all my actions, and he is the one who is the holder of all my karma phalams. So therefore, he will give me all my karma phalams. So with that vision, if I go in there, so I will see every karma phalam as his kripa. as his blessing. And once I receive something as a blessing, no, then my vasana towards that doesn't happen, it doesn't develop. So if anything is taken is what we call in Adhyatmam as prasad buddhi. With prasad buddhi, I take that, then it doesn't trap me into a circle. So therefore, I have to take Ishvara as the one who is going to take me across this Mahasagar, this sagar of karma. So because what has he given me? He has given me the freedom to do my karma. उन्होंने स्वतंत्रता दी है मुझे. He has given me the freedom. But endowed with this freedom also, if I do the karma with doership, then that freedom will also go away. So therefore, whenever we are free to do karma, we also have to free ourselves of the expectations of karma phalam. So therefore, if we don't do that, what will happen? Instead of getting away from this bondages, we will tend to get more and more immersed in that. So that is why Maharishi has taken this up as a Mahasagaram, Karma Mahasagar. And with every Janma, we are accumulating so many of these karma. The ocean of our Sanchit karma is infinite. The number of births we have had is infinite. With each birth, we accumulate vasanas and samskaras of so many janmas. So therefore, we have to learn to stand at the side. We have to stand at the side of the samudra, at the side of this ocean of karma, and we do vichara. We analyze. What amount of karma do I really have to do? What amount of do I really need to keep any expectations? Do I need to keep indulging or soaking myself or immersing myself, or shall I say drowning myself in this ocean of karma? That is the decision I have to take, because dependent on that decision is my happiness. My happiness in every moment of my life is dependent on how much I will let the karma control me. So therefore, whenever we enter this, what we call karma kshetra, because like in the Gita, no, the starting, what is the starting shloka? Dharma kshetre kurukshetra. Samaveta Yuyutsva. So therefore, we all enter into this Kurukshetra, this Karma Kshetra, which is also a dharma kshetra. So when we enter into that according to a dharma kshetra, then we end up into the form of not being troubled by this. Yuyutsuva. Yuyutsu is what? Technically, he is the brother of Duryodhana. But otherwise, what is Yuyutsu? The state of having no conflict within me. युद्ध के परिस्थिति से परे, someone who has risen above the high state of yuddha. So that is the first shloka of Gita. So that represents how the attitude we have to enter into life, with the attitude of yuyutsvam. So therefore, when we enter there, we have to get into that state of mind whereby we don't immerse ourselves into making a battle out of our life. इसको एक युद्ध मत बना दो. Make it a enjoyable journey. Make it an enjoyable journey. So therefore, whatever state we reach, then we will not get trapped into that, what we call sansar bhavara. So you know that bhavar is that tornado. It goes round and round in circles, and it sucks anyone who enters into the bottom. Whenever it's moving in the sea, that it will trap you and it will suck you to the bottom. So to not allow it to suck, you have to stop giving energy to that bhavara. Usko energy nahi deni. How is it energy is given? By concentrating all my energies into different kinds of karma phalam. ये भी चाहिए, वो भी चाहिए, ये भी चाहिए. So to go and rise beyond that should be the goal of our life, to how to enjoy every moment, how to offer our actions to karma. It is the people who always say कि everything is the grace of the Lord. सब कुछ भगवान की मर्जी से मिला. Such people are always happier. You can check anywhere. Because these are wise people. उन्होंने सीखा हुआ है ना. So you have to be wise and you also have to be intelligent. So both should be there. So intelligent person knows that there is electricity running through the wires, and the wise person knows not to touch it or it will shock him. So you have to be both. You have to know that what is the nature of the things around you, and you also have to know how you should interact. कैसे व्यवहार करना है ये भी आना बहुत जरूरी है, राइट? सो विद दिस वी वाइंड अप टुडेज क्लास. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरि ओम.